Hello everyone and welcome to the recast of this second game of the show match series here. King of the Hills show match series between Mouse Sports Morrow spawning as the green Terran in the bottom left hand corner on Xelnaga Caverns, and of course since this is the third week, the reigning champion and his current opponent is going to be SRS Razor Nani, which of course is MYM Naniwa, Meet Your Makers Naniwa, spawning as the light pink in the top right hand corner, once again here on Xelnaga Caverns. So big thanks goes out to our sponsors, of course, for this week. It is StarCraft-Source.com. They are going to BlizzCon, so if you are going, check them out. You can meet up with them. And you can, if you aren't going to BlizzCon, of course, you can check out their website for any pictures, news, events, updates, all that jazz from BlizzCon will be posted on their site. So anyways, as I said, this is Game 2 of the King of the Hill show match series. And big thanks to KOTH, our organizer. Once again, this is the third week in a row. And yeah, and actually, even though this is the vodcast, I want to give a shout out to glhf.tv and to Martine for streaming this. He did a fantastic job, and even though his girlfriend got a little bit mad at him, I did teach him a really suave phrase in Spanish, so hopefully he grabs that and utilizes it to woo and smooth talk his girlfriend. But anyways, on to the game. Production tab going up. We are seeing very basic builds coming up. They are generally what's used in the high diamond or even the pro level play. We've got 10 supply depot, 13 racks, and then gas immediately after. Of course, when the racks finishes, you want to get your orbital command up, and that does allow you to transition into virtually anything. You could go to a 3 racks Marauder play. You could go to the 1-1-1 build. You can get some early Vikings out, or you could get an early Raven out. You could do virtually whatever you wanted to. Dropships are probably the most dropships. Medevacs are probably the most common thing to do, but the orbital command is up nonetheless, or coming up nonetheless. And on the other end, we're seeing kind of the similar style from Naniwa, doing what most pro players are doing right now. Pylon gateway gas, pylon cyber gas. And that once again does open up into a multitude of builds as well. You could go into 1 gate robo, you could go 1 gate, 2 gates, and then 2 gate stargate. You can get some phoenixes out early, get a lot of air control, keep those medevacs on the ground or killed. And noticing that Naniwa really likes to go towards Templar or Colossi, usually one or the other. Sometimes, rarely, he'll go for both. But it's really tough to afford both, especially on 1 or 2 bases. You really need a 3rd base to get into that play style. But he is going for the Warp Gate technology, of course. If you don't know this, you should. One of the most important technologies for the Protoss army and the Protoss race, of course, is Warp Gate technology. It takes 140 game seconds to warp in, or to finish researching, but it's oh so beneficial to your army and to bolster your production. But the robotics facility is coming up as well, likely to see an initial observer coming up from there. And lately we've seen Razor Naniwa, well, MYM Naniwa, throwing up a Twilight Council as well. And I'm curious to see if he's going to be doing that. I believe he did it in Game 1 and he got charged. It was somewhat effective, but the push just wasn't quite enough. Of course, the series is 1-0 for Morrow right now. And Morrow going with a fast expansion build. I really like this. So it's one of the builds I didn't mention when I said the 10 depot, 13 barracks, 12 refinery right after. Sorry, 12 barracks, refinery right after is you can go 1 barracks fast expand and then throw down your 2nd and 3rd barracks. It allows you to get a lot of Marines early. It allows you to attach a tech lab and get stim. Morrow, of course, did choose to go for the reactor route. Getting out an extra few Marines early game does help you against any type of early pressure or early timing pushes that a Protoss player might want to utilize. That usually involves quite a few Stalkers, and of course Marines are somewhat effective in large numbers against Stalkers. They just attack so fast and their DPS is phenomenal. So likewise from Game 1 we are seeing Naniwa going for charge. So I really don't know what to think of that. He did grab the robotics bay, or robotics facility I should say, and he did push out that observer, so he is going to see what the main army composition consists of, And it looks like he's backing a probe up that was by this Xelnaga watchtower, as the Marine says, nope, this is mine, I'm taking the damn watchtower. That was a terrible accent, but it was kind of American, and I'm kind of Canadian. Curious, what accent? Canadians don't have accents. Well, we don't think we have accents. So I'm curious to see what, or hear what an actual Canadian accented person sounds like when they're trying to impersonate an American. Flabbergasted. Anyways, Corona boosting charge here. That was totally off topic. Morrow here getting some nice map control with these Xelnaga watchtowers. If we look at the Morrow cam, of course I held the button and he's on his camera, so fail. But he's got pretty much control of 2/3 of the map right now. Any drops that are coming in, any forward aggression, anything that gets pushed out beyond like a little bit of room here or this whole back lane is going to get spotted. Of course, you can go all the way around, but even then, the Xelnaga watchtower is likely to see what's going on. There is an observer overhead here. I'm going to go back to the everyone cam. The destructible rocks here are going to be taken out by Morrow. Is he going to take a fast third base, or is he just trying to trick Naniwa to think that he wants to take the gold? Taking the gold right now would be fairly ballsy. Morrow has scouted the natural expansion of Naniwa. It is underway. It's finished now. So he's probably pretty comfortable thinking, okay, I could either take this base for a third, or I could even get ballsy and take this with a planetary fortress. When you take this base, you have a few more attack routes that you need to defend. You've got the right-hand side. You've got, of course, the 2 middle lanes, and then the left-hand side as well. But if you consolidate your army into this area here, you can easily jump down into this area, put up a planetary fortress here, or even an orbital command. It's up to you, really. But it's a little bit easier to defend this area as a Terran player, just because you can keep your whole army here. You can defend this area. You can defend your main base for drops. You can pretty much do whatever you want. And the only route into your base is then here, or, of course, air. But I think he's going to be fairly safe right now with whichever base he does decide to take. Going back to the production tab shows that he doesn't have that command center in production right now. So maybe he's just tricking Naniwa into what he wants to do. Naniwa just continually using this observer to really control and get as much sight as he can really afford to. Because he doesn't have the Xelnaga watchtowers, he needs to abide by pretty much Morrow's control of the map. And he did take his expansion, so he's okay. They're both on 2 bases. And medevacs are just now getting on the field as well. The first 2 are on the way. That's going to make this bio army so powerful right now. And he's only got the, 3rd and 4th barracks. So there is no 4th barracks yet. He's only on 3 right now. One with a reactor, one with a reactor, 2 with a tech lab. Stim and shield and concussive shells are done. Ground level 1 weapons is done. Nothing else. He's getting an army so we can get level 2. And continually double pumping these medevacs with his reactored starport. So really good decision in that sense. And it just looks like Morrow's playing very safe, very calm, and just letting his opponent come to him. He knows he's in the lead. He knows he's got probably the income lead. If we look, well, no, he's got more income, but he's got less harvesters because of the mules, of course. But he's had that expansion up longer. So if we look at the spending tab, we can see that his army's bigger. He's got a little bit less technologies, but he's got more economy. We've got a drop coming up, and I'm going to rewind it for a second. I just wanted to finish talking about the advantage. So, of course, the advantage of being casted with replays is that I can rewind and show you all the action. So, Morrow, as we know, we just love his drops. His medevac play is phenomenal. Games that I've casted with Huck, or versus Huck, just did an awesome job. Takes out the Twilight Council, but charge was already done, so that really wasn't too much. The Templar Archives is already constructing, and it looks like Storm is about halfway done. Really nice job by Morrow, though. He stimmed up. That's the only damage he really took, was stim and a couple hits on one Marauder. Didn't take any damage from his medevacs, and then he just quickly pulls out. So we killed off a robotics facility, almost a pylon, and the Twilight Council, and then just backs out. So free buildings, free losses, or yeah, free minerals, free gas. It's just a great way to play the game as a Terran on maps like this, where when you take your natural expansion, your army's forced to be in an aggressive stance in front of your main building, or your natural expansion.